Hey, what's up everybody? It's your boy Drew and I'm back with you with a quick short video. I understand that we are going through some rough times, blood in the market right now, and a lot of that has absolutely nothing to do with the Fed this time, but everything to do with Russia, Vladimir Putin. That is probably the most horrible representation of a Russian accent, but I am from the South and I don't know anything, but I'd like some sweet tea. So, with that, I wanted to do a real quick video on investing and how the markets react to war. So I'm going to pull up an article from Seeking Alpha, which best explains it. So let's dive right on in. Okay, so not talking about Ukraine right now. Let's look at war and your portfolio. As you've seen over the past week, the market has widely fluctuated in almost daily reactions to a looming armed conflict with Ukraine. It's been up and down and seems to react with every message that comes out from either side. Okay, so now they're going to talk about the crisis and the market impact, the high-level portfolio approach, how we can think. So the focus will be mostly on the S&P 500, which they will use as a comparative point to see what has happened historically. So first, averages. The largest historical drawdown due to war was in conjunction with the Nazi Germany entry into what was then the Czechoslovakian nation of 1939 and the attack on France in 1940. The S&P fell by 20.5 and 25.8 respectively during the following 22 trading days. 1 year after these instances, though, the market was up almost 19% and 9.2% respectively, eliminating much of that drop. During Pearl Harbor, S&P 500 dropped around 11% in a single day after the attack. As well, we all know the U.S. declared war on Japan a day after, and on the 11th of December that year, Germany declared war on the U.S. Despite all the turmoil, the S&P was up 15.3% higher 1 year later. So this is why I really wanted to hit on this. Everything has been up. War is never good. It is ugly. It is disgusting. And I can not stress that enough, but being that we are talking about our finances, I have to put that part aside and talk about strictly finances. So in the case of war and finances, your finances historically are only slightly affected, if affected at all, and generally from this case are up higher. So though it looks dark and gloomy right now, I would not sit here and stress. I would maintain the buy and hold mentality and continue to ultimately watch that money grow. So continuing on average, the S&P 500 has been 6.5 in negative territory 3 months following an armed conflict, either global or smaller, around 13% positive 12 months after said conflict. This is why I really wanted to bring this, because investing in anything, in the market, into anything, whether it's the safest investment or the most riskiest, the hardest thing we have to get past is our mental blocks. We see red and the first thing we think is, my money's dissipating, I've got to get it out. Don't fall for that trap. There are people who have tried to pull their money out and time the market, pull it out at the highest peak and try to time it back in, and they fall short more times than not. Okay, so continuing on, how to handle a war-based crash. In fact, from the beginning of World War II to its end, the Dow was up more than 50%, over 7% per year. During both combined world wars, the stock market grew 115%. The adage that it's a good idea to buy when there's blood in the street turns out to be quite literally true. Buy. When you see blood in the stock market, buy. All day, every day. I mean, yes, in times in history, there have been times in which the market has fallen and it has taken a while to come back. But in the end, the market is constantly growing and stocks are constantly building and growing with that, and capital gains are as well gaining. This isn't to say that there aren't classes exactly. So, I mean, sectors suffer, certain things suffer, but I mean, it's even like airplanes. I mean, airplanes have suffered due to the COVID, but ultimately will be back. I mean, travel will not cease to exist. I mean, we live in a day and age where people are all about travel. So without going off on a tangent, everything has a turnaround. During actual war, stock markets actually tend to be less volatile than other times, which is quite baffling with exceptions to the Gulf War when it was on par with historical volatility. There are industries that obviously would outperform during times of wars, but as well, there are industries that will not. Okay, so as I said, I wanted to keep this video short. I don't want to go down and down this path. My main points that I wanted to point out today is when it comes to your money, don't fret. The stock market would not be a place to put your money if everybody lost their money day in and day out, because there is more bad news being played through the media than there is any good. War, unfortunately, is a part of our past and obviously will not cease to be a part of our future, as sad as it may be. But when it comes to investing, your best bet is just to continue to buy into the market, suffer through the red, and in this case, within a year or so, come back out on top. Do not be scared. Do not let something like this throw you off of your financial goals. Always look to the future. For me personally, I like to look to my kids. I want them to be set up. And the only way I'm going to do that is if I pull through, I button up, I pull up my big boy pants, and I continue to dig through these trenches and swim through the red in the market and buy in. Stay the course. So it's always tough to talk about war, but in this case, pray for those and continue to invest. Until next time, peace.